In the last class, we discussed about the different reasons for water pollution, and there are some other factors also that are responsible for water pollution that we will discuss today. We discussed about sewage and water, domestic waste. Also, we discussed about industrial influence, and also we discussed about agricultural discharges. And now let us discuss about water pollution due to toxic metals like lead, mercury, cadmium, etc., which are discharged into water. Heavy metals like lead, mercury, cadmium, etc., are discharged into water by domestic sewage, agricultural runoff, and from corroded metal pipes, etc. The first heavy metal is lead. Lead pollution of natural waters is caused by effluents from a large number of industries like petroleum, paint, ceramics, battery, plastics, etc. Lead is highly toxic to all living organisms. It causes anemia, disruption of hemoglobin, as well as damage to kidneys, liver, reproductive system, and brain. It interferes with the development of the nervous system, and its toxicity is more acute in children than in adults. It affects the intellectual development of infants and children, causing permanent behavioral disorders. Next heavy metal is cadmium. Cadmium is also highly toxic to human. Cadmium is introduced into water through effluents from electroplating, paint, ink, plastics, etc., and from gold jewelry works. Cadmium also undergoes biomagnification through food chains. It accumulates in liver, kidneys, pancreas, and thyroid in humans. At higher levels, it causes damage to lungs, kidney, etc., and causes anemia and bone marrow depression. An after effect of cadmium poisoning is the outbreak of the Itai Itai or Ouch Ouch disease, which occurred in the Jinsu River basin in Japan. The disease was caused by the consumption of cadmium-ingested rice from the fields irrigated using water from the Jinsu River. The river was contaminated with cadmium by drainage water from the surrounding mines. The disease made bones fragile, thousands of people died through fracture of bones, and thousands were affected by this bone disease. Next heavy metal is mercury. Effluents from various industries like electrochemical industry and industries that manufacture batteries, caustic soda, mercury vapor lamps, etc., and effluents from metallurgical operations introduce great amount of mercury into water. Mercury is highly toxic to all aquatic and as well as terrestrial organisms. It has a capacity to bioaccumulate in the form of methyl mercury. This was seen in the Minamata city of Japan in 1956 to 1960 by the so-called Minamata disease, which was actually mercury poisoning through fish contaminated with methyl mercury. Many of the fish-eating people of the Minamata city died and several were paralyzed because of this. The Minamata disease is a neurological syndrome resulting in irreversible brain damage caused by severe mercury poisoning. Its symptoms were first observed in cats, which were found to be jumping uncontrollably through repeated spasms, and hence it is also called dancing cat fever. The disease was caused by the methyl mercury present in the effluents discharged from Minamata chemical plant. More than 100 people lost their lives immediately and many thousands were permanently paralyzed because of this disease. And the incident came to be known as the Minamata disaster. Now let us discuss what are the water quality parameters that are used for assessing water. The quality of water is expressed in terms of color, taste, turbidity, pH, salinity, electrical conductivity, etc. Three of the parameters that are used to express water quality are dissolved oxygen, biochemical oxygen demand, and chemical oxygen demand. First, let us discuss dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen is a fundamental requirement for the maintenance of life for the aquatic life. Dissolved oxygen is expressed as the weight of oxygen in milligrams present per liter of water or as parts per million. The optimum value for dissolved oxygen for good water quality is 4 to 6 milligram per liter. This would ensure healthy aquatic life in a water body. Lower values generally inhibit the growth of most kinds of fish, and very low values lead to the killing of fish. So, less than 3 ppm is too low for fish population. 6 ppm, somewhat, some fish will be present. And if it is more than 8, it supports the abundant fish population. So, you can see from the start, dissolved oxygen is very essential for aquatic life. Dissolved oxygen is usually determined iodometrically. It is allowed to react with potassium iodide to liberate iodine, which is then titrated with standard sodium thiosulfate solution. It can also be Dissolved oxygen can also be determined by treating with manganese in strongly alkaline medium to quantitatively precipitate manganese dioxide, and the manganese dioxide is then estimated iodometrically in acid medium. So both methods can be used for determining dissolved oxygen content in water bodies. Next water quality parameter is the biochemical oxygen demand, or the BOD. BOD, or biochemical oxygen demand, is the amount of dissolved oxygen used up by aquatic organisms for the oxidation of organic matter present in a well-aerated sample of water incubated for a period of 5 days at 20 degrees centigrade. It is usually expressed in milligram of oxygen per liter of water or as parts per million. Water is considerably pure if the BOD is only 1 to 3 milligram per liter. Higher BODs indicate pollution. Now, how to determine BOD? BOD of a water sample is determined by finding out the amount of dissolved oxygen in it before and after its incubation for 5 days in the dark at 20 degrees centigrade. The difference between the initial and final values is the actual BOD. So, a definite volume of the wastewater sample is placed in two 300 ml BOD bottles, and it is diluted with a definite volume of water which contains phosphate buffer and magnesium, calcium, and ferric ions. The mixture is then saturated with air for 5 minutes. The dissolved oxygen concentration at zero time on 0th day for the mixture is determined using an electrochemical method or a chemical method. The bottle containing the second sample is incubated at 20 degrees centigrade for 5 days, and the dissolved oxygen concentration after 5 days of incubation is also determined. Then the equation for BOD determination F is equal to DO0 minus DO5 divided by P, where DO0 represents dissolved oxygen content on the 0th day and D05 represents dissolved oxygen content at the 5th day. divided by P, where P is equal to volume of sample divided by volume of diluted sample. So this is the formula that is used for determining biochemical oxygen demand. So these are the BOD levels that is very good for water. 1 to 2 means very good. There will not be much organic matter present in the water supply. 3 to 5 means fair or moderately clean. 6 to 9 means the water is very poor or polluted and usually indicates that organic matter present and microorganisms are decomposing that waste. 100 or more is represents very poor water that is very much polluted and contains organic matter. Another water quality parameter is the chemical oxygen demand, COD. Chemical oxygen demand or COD of a sample of water is the oxygen equivalent required for the oxidation of organic matter in water, determined with the help of a strong chemical oxidant like potassium dichromate in acid medium in the presence of a catalyst. So it is relatively rapidly measurable parameter. So in BOD, if the organic waste is decomposed by microorganisms, in chemical oxygen demand, the organic matter is decomposed by a strong oxidizing agent like potassium dichromate or potassium permanganate. Okay, that is the difference between BOD and COD. The COD value will be always higher than the BOD. Any COD value higher than 250 mg per liter is regarded as an indication of pollution. The higher the COD of a sample, the higher is the extent of pollution in it. That you can see from this slide. Expected COD for rivers is 5 to 50 milligram per liter and effluent and polluted rivers means 25 to 250. Primary or secondary effluent polluted water means between 250 and 750 and municipal sewage may contain 500 to 1200 COD and contaminated industrial effluents will have more than 1000 milligram per liter. So these are the levels of COD. Now how to determine COD? COD is determined using the given procedure. A definite volume of the water sample is boiled for 2 hours with an excess volume of standard potassium dichromate in the presence of 50% sulfuric acid, 1 gram silver sulfate and 1 gram mercuric sulfate. Silver sulfate is the catalyst for the oxidation and mercuric sulfate prevents the interference of chloride ions by making it a soluble complex. This mixture is then diluted with 80 ml of distilled water and cooled. The unreacted potassium dichromate is then determined by titration against standard ferrous ammonium sulfate or more salt in the presence of 8 normal sulfuric acid using 8 to 10 drops of ferroin as indicator. The endpoint is a sharp color change from blue-green to reddish brown. So the equation for finding out the COD of a sample is given. COD equal to volume blank minus volume sample into normality of ferrous ammonium sulfate into 8000 divided by V sample or volume of sample, where V blank represents the volume of ferrous ammonium sulfate solution used for blank and V sample represents the volume of ferrous ammonium sulfate used as sample and N represents normality of ferrous ammonium sulfate or more salt. Okay. So this is the equation for finding out COD.